What's going on, everybody? So as you are all well aware, I am a big fan of horror films, and so when I miss a horror film that I see people talking about, I always like to jump on board and check it out. And this is a film that is streaming on Hulu that is classified as folk horror, and I actually ended up really enjoying this one. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is You Are Not My Mother. You Are Not My Mother is directed by Kate Dolan. In a North Dublin housing estate, Char's mother goes missing. When she returns, Char is determined to uncover the truth of her disappearance and unearth the dark secrets of her family. So this is a really unique film where the first probably hour of the film is just really building the familial dynamic and understanding what her lead character Char's life is like. And you see that she goes off to school, she gets pretty bullied at school, she seems to be an outcast and doesn't seem to belong in any groups of people. And when she comes home, she lives at home with her mom and her grandmother and also her uncle. He lives next door and he comes over to visit all the time. And so you see kind of the dysfunction in the family where she spends a lot of time alone and that her grandmother is really kind of there but not super invested in her life, and her mother's life is really falling apart. There's constant conversation about how they don't have food at the house to eat. The house is kind of falling apart, and her mom disappears for really long periods of time and they don't really know where she goes a lot. Really early on in the film, she ends up disappearing. They don't know where she goes and they end up finding her in this really strange place. And then all of these really eerie circumstances start to happen where you start to wonder, is this person really Char's mother? And that's where it kind of transforms into this folk horror-esque film that really feels a lot different, but in a way that I really respect. This film has some really nice cinematography and some really great performances, and what I love about this movie is, rather than just flat out come out at the beginning and say this is what we're getting into, it's so much more about building that familial dynamic. It's not as good as this movie, but it really reminds me of like Ari Aster's Hereditary, how very early on in that film you're watching that movie and you're not 100% sure which direction the film is going to go, and then as small things are revealed to you, you get that huge third act punch. And that's what this reminded me of, was that type of film that really kind of takes its time to build up the familial dynamic and make you think about what these characters are going through and the issues that they're having together. And then when that punch happens, it hits you as the viewer so much harder because you've spent all that time caring about these characters. And what's great about Char as the lead character is because we see what she goes through on a day-to-day basis at her school and being bullied in her family life, you really attach to her character and you feel what she's going through in a level that just makes you hurt for her. And what I love about this film is the whole idea of like, you are not my mother. Even the title is just kind of getting you in this direction of you questioning the whole time, is this our lead character's mom? Even the grandmother makes off comments about like whether or not that really is our lead character's mother. And it's great because the little tiny things they put in throughout the film that keep you questioning in the back of your head, what am I seeing? Can I believe what I'm seeing? And that way in the third act, when things kind of just start to blow up, it really has earned it at that point. And I really enjoyed this film. It's about an hour and a half runtime. I would say it is a little bloated at moments. I feel like it probably could have been trimmed down a little bit, but aside from that, I really love these atmospheric slow burn films that look at family relationships, because you can take an element of yourself and put it into the film and say like, hey, this person knows something that I've gone through, and then adds this like supernatural element to it to kind of blow it up so that it doesn't just feel completely like real life. And that's something that I really respected about this movie. And for an hour and a half watch on Hulu, it is one of the better horror films streaming in their collection that I've seen for a while. So if you haven't seen this one, I don't want to talk too much more about it. I don't want to give the spoilers away. Just go in on Hulu and watch it. I know you won't regret it. So have you seen You Are Not My Mother? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always looking forward to putting out new material and getting it out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.